Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so potential buyers have more information about the seller and the business to help them make a buying decision further down the line. Today we'll be talking about a digital product business for sale, and I have the seller with me today. So Michael, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here, and how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me here.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Really looking forward to talking about your business. Definitely an interesting one, the makeup of it, and I'm sure the background of it will be intriguing. Just before we really get stuck in, let me give our listeners a brief summary of the listing today. So today's business is a digital product, info product, and affiliate business that's created in February 2015 in the design niche. The average monthly revenue for the business is $11,236, and it makes an average of $9,443 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are the domain and all of the site's contents and files, an email list with over 20,000 subscribers stored in ConvertKit, social media accounts, SOPs, employee contracts, existing software accounts, an affiliate program, marketing material, and both published and unpublished products. You can head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 53434 to learn more about the business. And if you want to start your due diligence, please remember to put down your deposit first to unlock the listing. So, Michael, that's a very general overview about the business, but let's find out more about yourself. Can you share with me what your background is in building or running online businesses?
Yeah, for sure. We've been running online businesses for quite a few years now. We started in digital products. I say my wife actually has been part of my journey for quite a while. Back in 2014, we started our first online business, and that was as well in the digital products area. So we've been doing this for quite some time, and along that journey, we're also doing some client-based web design projects, and sort of the natural evolution of things, we wondered how we could marry some of the web design services we're offering with the more passive digital product niche that we're familiar with. And through that, we've sort of built the business, just exploring different avenues for digital downloads in the design niche, and then building that and complementing them with info and e-learning products so that our customers can learn the skills and the knowledge to really leverage some of the tools and the digital products that we're offering.
For sure. Makes sense. I think it's great that you managed to go into business with your wife. I think a lot of people would run away completely the opposite direction at the thought of, having to work with their partner. But I'm glad that you guys have made it work.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy, but we definitely are able to be open and honest when communicating with each other. And, we always have something to talk about. There's never a limit, that's for sure.
No, that's awesome. I guess could you share with me, because you said that both of you have, the shared interest in the design niche. So how did you come up with the idea to start a digital product specifically within this niche?
Had a need personally for in our own lives for some of these products. And as we were going through and building them and designing them for our own application, we realized a gap in the market. Not to mention, we're putting a lot of effort into these one-off things we're building for our own use. It only made sense to see how we could scale that up and put it out there for others to benefit from as well. And, in that way, any design work that we were doing on our own side, it was perfect way to spin it up into a passive product, do it once and sell it many times. That's the dream of the online business world.
Yeah, that's great. I think many people seem to share a similar story where the business was born almost by accident, like out of serendipity, because of a need that they themselves had. They're looking for products and they just couldn't find something that would meet the needs. So they ended up just building something from the ground up to do that. And like you've mentioned, and as you've done with this business, just scale it so that it becomes more passive income for you. So that makes sense. Can you share with me how the business makes money?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as you mentioned, there's a split between digital products and info products and affiliate income. So we have a number of downloadable digital products available through both the shop on the website as well as available on some third-party marketplaces. And then in addition to that, we have our info products. We have a course focused within the design niche as well. And so we have a regular influx of students through that with the evergreen funnel connected to our ConvertKit list. And then on top of that, we're associated with some affiliate programs. So we're getting affiliate income through our content marketing, as well as through our existing customers that then go on to use these additional product services.
For sure, that makes sense. There's definitely a lot of assets included with the sale, and we'll touch on that in a short while. But thanks for the breakdown of how it's monetized. For our listeners who, are interested in online businesses, why would you say that the digital product sort of monetization, like this model, is great for people who are interested in getting started?
Yeah, for sure. The digital products niche and sort of avenue of monetization, it's really worked out well for us because we found it to be quite passive. Once you've done that work up front, there's very little maintenance down the road. It's basically build it, design it, list it for sale, and it'll go for years. So in that sense, it's been a really, really good way for us to scale the business up because, yeah, like I said, it's quite hands off once they hit the shop.
I think that makes sense. Yeah, I do think that's one of the great things about digital products. Like you put the sweat equity in, the elbow grease at the beginning, creating all the products and optimizing it. And then once it's launched and you found a target market, then like you say, it's pretty hands off, you automate its processes and really all you're doing is just maintaining and answering any queries.
That's right.
That's awesome. So, you've managed to scale the business really well in the past 6 years that you've been running the business, but our listeners will be wondering, why are you selling it right now instead of staying with it and growing it?
Yeah, and I mean, it's definitely been a journey for my wife, myself, and along that way, we've managed to have 2 young children. And so, although our business may have been our first child, it's sort of taken a backseat to the time we spend now with our growing children who are 1 and 4 years old. As well, within the last year with the COVID lockdown, we lost our childcare as well, and sort of taking that time away from the business and instead focusing it on our growing family, it caused us to just rethink our priorities and what we see the next few years of our lives looking like. Although we've enjoyed running the business and it does remain, we do want to spend the time with our kids while they're young, sort of the main drive for us at this point.
Yeah, I think there's absolutely valid points there. I definitely can empathize with what you're saying. COVID's definitely changed everything around the world. Especially for working parents, you and I, it's definitely not made things easier, that's for sure. So that makes sense. Let me ask you about your experience then. As you were building this business, did you learn anything that you think you'd apply to future sites or future similar businesses if you were going to start one up again?
Yeah, I mean, everything I've learned I would take with me to whatever my next project might be. One of the things we've done with the business is, although we have a virtual assistant and we have outsourced a little bit of content creation here and there, the bulk of it has been insourced. And so by developing our own skills in terms of design, online marketing, copywriting, and content creation, writing sales funnels, and creating evergreen funnels, we did that all in-house by developing our own skills. And I think, for someone starting a business, especially at the beginning, to be able to keep it lean gives you so much flexibility. You don't have to have crazy high revenues if your margins are up there as well. By keeping everything in-house, you keep the costs low. And I think that's been one of the best ways that we've been able to scale the business.
Fantastic. That really makes sense. Could you share what some of those resources were that you just found really helpful as you were, like you said, insourcing and just investing in yourself?
It's just sort of paying attention to what's going on in your niche, seeing what others are doing and seeing how they're structuring their business and thinking about ways to apply that on your own. Yeah, off the top of my head, I can't think of any specific resources, but I know along the way we've been participating in other e-learning products in different fields, related to evergreen funnels, and, never be afraid to sign up for those courses. I mean, there's vast amounts of knowledge out there, especially in the e-learning field these days. People are putting out such specific, such valuable content. It's a no-brainer to get access to some of these people's methods for, only a few $100 compared to, I don't know what they did a generation ago. You'd have to go get a advanced degree in some of this stuff. But, now all the information's out there. It's all online. And I think that's really changed the game.
Yeah, that's right. The knowledge has been democratized. Everything is now just widely available on the net if you know where to look for it. So that's definitely a good shout. I guess on that note as well, did you find any software or tools to be especially helpful for you as you were building the business?
I think for us, email marketing has been hugely powerful. It's so hard to try to split your focus between all the different social media channels, email, but to have that direct relationship with the customers has been so valuable. And by doing that through email, you can share a lot more information, a lot more of your story, and a lot more of those touch points that tend to get lost in a lot of the noise. So yeah, you mentioned earlier that we host our list through ConvertKit, and that's been hugely powerful for helping us set up automations and delivering lead magnets to customers, and then following up with that evergreen sales funnel, which has really helped drive a lot of the growth of our course and our info products. So yeah, definitely email has been a huge driver for us.
That's great, because email is one of the hardest things to really get off the floor, yet it remains one of the most powerful digital marketing channels. So that's definitely valuable insight there that you shared. I guess just a look then from the other side of the fence, because you shared about what worked for you. Was there anything that you found didn't really work for you, that just, some of the tactics or strategies that you tried that just didn't give you the ROI that you were hoping for?
Yeah, I think maybe not that it didn't work for us, but I think paid advertising was definitely a challenge for us because there's a lot of money on the table up front, and that made the learning curve a bit more difficult. In order to see sort of results and in order to get data to work with, we found the spend to be a bit higher than we were comfortable with at times. So although, we experimented with Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest advertising, I don't think, we really developed the skills there to make the most of it. So I'd say, yeah, that was sort of one of the challenges we had with growth and making sure we were getting the ROI on that spend.
That makes sense. Speaking of paid advertising, what do you currently do for marketing for the business right now then?
At the moment, we don't have any active paid campaigns. We have in the past, but primarily our focus has been on content marketing through content creation and organic search traffic and Pinterest traffic. Pinterest drives a huge amount of our traffic. We have over 2.3 million monthly views. So that has always been and continues to be a big aspect of our traffic generation.
Okay, so it sounds like mainly it's organic right now. There's not really any paid advertising involved.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. So can you describe to me then, Michael, on a day-to-day or even a weekly basis, what's the type of work that you do to maintain the business right now?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. There's just a bit of inbox management. Our virtual assistant, she works 15 hours a month with us. She handles the first pass of the inbox and then just stars any higher level messages for myself. So I hop in there, I'd say maybe 1 to 2 hours a week of inbox management. And then beyond that, any ongoing task would just be reviewing any content that's been created by a virtual assistant. So that'd be blog content and social content. And then maybe drafting any email newsletters. And that's about it. So we're only looking at a few hours a week. So it's quite passive at the moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is the VA is happy to continue with the buyer after the sale?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she knows about the sale, and so she's agreed to carry on the same terms as well. So that's huge.
Great to hear. For buyers who are interested in acquiring this business, but they might not be familiar with the design niche or digital products, what would you say are some of the skills or requirements someone should be aware of before they commit to this?
That's a good question. I think design is important. We do have a number of marketing templates and content templates available. So the process, it has been quite systemized, which is helpful. I think, a bit of understanding, or at least eye for design, is valuable. The design work can be outsourced, so you don't need to have the in-house design skills, but certainly an eye for the design would be definitely beneficial to carrying on the business.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Let's talk about the opportunities then. I mean, if you did stay with the business, what are some of the ways you think about trying to expand it?
Yeah, I think there's huge potential in the info products area. As I mentioned, we only have the one course available, but there has been a lot of demand from our existing audience for additional content and additional courses that either expand or elaborate or go in, parallel directions to that. So I think, any growth in the info products could be hugely beneficial. As I mentioned about paid ads earlier, I think a strategic investment in paid ads from someone with knowledge and experience to build a strategy around that could definitely be valuable to the business as well. And then beyond that, I think any additional investment in terms of content marketing, content creation could help grow the business as well. I know YouTube would be an avenue that could prove to be lucrative as well if someone were to go down that route.
Mm-hmm. Great insights for sure. All businesses have inherent risk with them. What would you say some of the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
Although we're one of the first movers in this field, I think there could certainly be a risk from competition. As always, competition continues to grow in established niches, and the one we're in continues to grow as well. So I think that would certainly be a risk to look out for.
Gotcha. So it sounds like it's still growing competition within the niche.
Yeah, I think the market's growing as well. So, there's definitely room for everyone. And I think that because we have an established foothold, it'd certainly be great to maintain that and build upon what's already there.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. And I guess it's also a good thing because at the very least it shows that the niche is still in demand and there's definitely demand for products like this. So definitely room to expand as well. Last few questions from me then. How much support are you offering buyers?
Yeah, I'm offering 30 days support and 2 Skype calls to help ease the transition.
That's great to hear. Are you willing to commit to a non-compete?
Yep.
And are you open to negotiating something like an earn-out, like seller financing?
Yeah, for sure. We're happy to negotiate in regards to that too.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Last question from me, Michael. Put yourself in the shoes of a buyer. Why would you say that this is a business worth buying?
I think just our established presence. Like I said, we're the first mover in this niche, or one of the first movers. We have an established presence and recognizable brand name in the field. And we also have an existing audience that has bought and continues to buy from us. So, the audience is there, the market's there. It's simply a matter of continuing to deliver what they have had and what they expect to have. And I think sky's the limit from there.
Makes sense, especially, the thing that stands out to me as well is that really large email list that you've managed to develop until now. I mean, over 20k subscribers on there, and that can easily be grown as well if someone has the right marketing chops to take that further.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you think I might have missed that you'd like to share?
Yeah, no, I think we touched on a lot of really great points. I think we covered the bulk of it. Yeah, that was a good chat.
Awesome. Well, Michael, thanks so much for joining me then on today's interview, and I hope that your business gets picked up by the right buyer in the very near future.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 53434. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked the listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about the business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.